XRP Passive Income is here. Some of it is being offered in decentralized platforms. The suits are showing up in centralized offerings and everything in between. And the great thing about having a big bag of XRP is we get to decide who we want to work with, right? You could diversify amongst a few of these different offerings. You could go directly to the suits like BlackRock, which is launching their new income ETF, or you could go completely decentralized like Flare. The options are arriving. This is really starting to heat up, and this is great for the XRP community. So we're going to give you a quick update on the market. PCE inflation came in today, along with a massive day of options expiring. The last day of trading on the month of September for the traditional market. So we have a bunch of options expiring. This is why that volatility is coming in, along with the PCE announcement that came in today, which was in alignment with expectations. 2.7% for the Fed's preferred inflation measure. August PCE inflation core was up at 2.9%, also in line with expectations. PCE inflation is at its highest since February of 2025, yet the Fed will keep cutting rates. Despite the inflation still being high, much higher than their 2% target, which we're kind of just forgetting about now, they're sacrificing the fight against inflation because we know where we're at in the labor market. They lied about 2 million jobs in 23, 24, in the 12 months ending March 2025. The economy that was handed over was an absolute lie. And the Fed tried to cover it up, tried to act like it was okay. Now they've admitted that they need to do something about the labor market and the business cycle. That's why they delivered a rate cut. And that's why they're going to continue to cut rates even though inflation's running hot. Now, what can we do to hedge? Well, we've shown you. And look at this sucker run. Silver up to $46 per ounce. Now, for many of you guys, I asked in the last night's live show, what was the lowest price that you bought silver at? Some folks did get in at single digits, $9. I got a lot of people that got in the teens, and then a lot of people that got in under $30 like myself. And boy, do we love to see and watch silver running to hedge us against inflation on our defensive measures. But then to win in this current environment when it comes to investing, when you know the inflation rate is at 3%, basically, that's the lie that they're giving us, the manipulated data. It's probably 2 or 3 times worse. Then you need to be making at least that much on your investments to keep up with inflation, let alone to go on offense and then seek out opportunities like we've done in crypto, where we're making 50 to 100% on the low end of our offensive trades. On the high end, we're making 200, 300, 427% is how much I made on Zebek. Some of you guys did even better. We did 180% on Stronghold, actually did better than that. That was just the base case. And then opportunities like XRP, where we knocked it out of the park, we're still up 400% since the election. Okay. And so what we've done here, hedge with our defensive measures. When it comes to offense, we're not trying to make 5 or 10%. We're trying to knock it out of the park. And we've been consistently doing that. And we're going to talk now about passive income later in this episode. This is the title, and the subject of today's discussion is the passive income opportunities that we'll be able to use to at least keep up with inflation and hopefully beat it as well. Cassie Craddock, she is the UK CEO and managing director at Ripple for Europe. Managing director of UK and Europe at Ripple. Cassie Craddock says, earlier this week, I posted about the Downing Street Roundtable during the President Trump's state visit to the UK that I attended alongside representatives from the UK and US governments and financial and crypto industries. This meeting was the precursor to the announcement of the UK-US Transatlantic Task Force for Markets of the Future, an important initiative which will build on the deep and enduring partnership between the UK and the US in financial services. The new task force will lead to a closer cooperation between the US and UK on digital assets, creating an opportunity to align on stablecoins, tokenization, and cross-border market access, as well as setting a template for international cooperation in our industry. Once again, Ripple setting the standard. As a US headquartered company with a major presence in the UK, Ripple is well placed to leverage its strong transatlantic footprint to further drive US-UK tech innovation, and we are looking forward to contributing to the work of the task force. Ripple, right there with our treasury, Scott Bessent, Trump's UK state visit that just took place, Ripple's right there alongside with them. It's all there for everybody to see. And what did President Trump say at Bitcoin 2024? He didn't hype up Bitcoin at all, which I know some people don't want to acknowledge, especially the Bitcoiners. He didn't hype it up at all. He said it was going to be stable coins, which would be key to expanding US dollar dominance. That's a direct quote. Stable coins like RLUSD, which is now officially listed on Bybit trading pairs, and this does include RLUSD on Ethereum and the XRP ledger. Absolutely love to see this integration. This is following up on the major announcement that came out earlier this week that BlackRock's tokenized money market fund, the Build is what it's called, and then Van Eck's VBill money market fund now have tradability over to RLUSD on Ethereum and soon the XRP ledger as well too. This is BlackRock, Van Eck, the largest institutions, the biggest exchanges, all tapping in to not just RLUSD. You have to understand that RLUSD is on the XRP ledger. Every RLUSD transaction on the XRP ledger burns XRP, locks up XRP for the wallets, and is going to be running across that XRP ledger. These are flows of liquidity that never would have came to the XRP ledger if it hadn't have been for that on-ramp in the form of RLUSD. Now, speaking of the biggest institutions, the same institutions that told you there was no place for crypto in a portfolio, well, now they're ready to sell you some crypto in your portfolio because they can put their name on the product. And one of those institutions would be Vanguard, which is now eyeing crypto ETF access for brokerage clients. The world's second largest asset manager, Vanguard, is preparing to allow access to crypto ETFs on its brokerage platform, according to a source familiar with the matter. So it goes from there's no spot for it, it's a pet rock, it's fraud, it's for crime, to, hey, we have a new product to sell you. And in the meantime, we've been front running the institutions, and platforms like iTrust Capital have made that possible. I want to give a huge shout out to iTrust for being ahead of the game, serving our community. Many of you guys have already been using iTrust Capital. I'm just now getting tapped in with iTrust, and I'm very excited to have added them as a community resource. Once again, you have 0% monthly annual fees on your startup, no exit fees either, 1% cryptocurrency transaction fee, buy and sell. And then they also offer precious metals for your crypto IRA, or for your IRA, I should say. You can do crypto or precious metals. And then the new offering that they have is the premium custody account as well. Closed loop system, your crypto transactions stay secure, no external wallets, no unnecessary risks, just a trusted way to buy, sell, and custody with confidence. Award-winning US-based support. So this is the new offering outside of the IRA product, the premium custody account, iTrust Capital. And by the way, when you use my promo code, which is Rector9, you'll receive an additional $100 funding bonus. So a huge shout out to iTrust because they were just way ahead of the game. I'm about to make a separate video explaining how big this 401k unlock is going to be. And it's to the point, to reiterate, it's institutions like Vanguard, which are not going to go buy XRP and do a cold storage wallet like we do. They're going to be only offering the ETFs, right? The 401k unlock, a lot of that is going to be driven through ETF products. But I want to give a shout out to iTrust because they were ahead of the game, ahead of Vanguard, ahead of BlackRock, ahead of everybody else that was waiting to roll out these products. It reminds me of some of these other exchanges that kept XRP listed during the lawsuit. iTrust Capital has been offering crypto IRAs for years ahead of the competition. So a huge shout out to them. Linked up down below. Once again, the promo code is Rector9 to get that $100 funding bonus. BlackRock files for a premium income ETF. I'm just sharing this so you guys see you have the decentralized offerings like Flare, Doppler, all these other products that are coming out here. XRP from Axelar. And then you have the suits showing up in BlackRock, everybody looking to offer you passive income on your crypto and on your XRP. Now, the good news for Flare is they went live and they filled their cap at 5 million FXRP minted in about 4 hours. All of these products are selling out right away. And the good news is that they're about to raise that cap to 10 million, and they're going to be splitting it evenly between Asian and US time zones so that everyone gets a fair shot. So they're going to be raising that cap to 10 million, and it looks like they'll be doing 5 million during, letting 5 million go live during the US time zone, and then 5 million during an Asian time zone. So let me know where you're tuning in from in the chat. If you're part of the international audience and part of our community worldwide, let me know where you're coming from. And then if you're looking to take advantage of this F assets, they're going to be upping this limit to 10 million. It looks like it's going to be happening later this week or next week, it looks like. So stay tuned for that. Hugo also posting that they're going to be tapping in with Vitsa, or Vitsa, I should say. And this is going to be for allowing us one style or one-click style way to earn XRP yield directly in your Zalman wallet. So it looks like Zalman is looking to integrate. Looks like the implementation has already started from Vitsa right here. And this would allow you to basically hit maybe one or two buttons, hit a button, slide the transaction to verify, and then you'll be minting your FXRP on, in your Zalman wallet. Now, the Flare offering for yield and passive income is the most decentralized way that I see available right now. You keep your, XRP stays on the XRP ledger. You just lock it in their vault, and then it gets minted. FXRP gets minted over for Flare. Now, by minting FXRP, you don't start earning yield right away. You then need to go into the Flare ecosystem, and there's a bunch of different products and ways that you can earn yield from there. Now, one of those would be Strobe Finance. They opened up a cap of 500,000, and that got filled up right away. Now, this is for MXRP, so this is for the Axelar offering, okay? So my apologies, this is not for Flare. This is for Axelar's MXRP, which is another one of the new products that just went live. They capped out at 500,000. They're now raising that cap to 882,000. So I will be doing a deep dive again on Flare and covering all the different ways that you can earn yield over in their ecosystem. MXRP, this is from Axelar, a little bit different. Over in Strobe Finance, they're allowing you to lend, basically borrow against your MXRP over there. And so it's not completely passive. And I'm not going to debate with anybody in the comments that wants to go through the technicalities of what is truly passive income. There's really no such thing as completely passive income. But I come from a blue collar background. So if I'm not having to run a shovel to make the money, and I'm not actively trading, I'm kind of just making an allocation of, an investment and then letting it work. That to me is about as passive as it gets. I'm not breaking a sweat, right? Now, I'm not jumping into any of these opportunities yet. And, the other one that we've mentioned too is Doppler. They just provided an update today. 3.3% was their latest yield distribution. Okay. Yield distribution is calculated based on the average balance over the week. Please note that the APR may vary weekly and past performance does not guarantee future results. I'm letting these guys show us what they can produce, right? I'm sitting back, just protecting my XRP bags, making sure that I don't get liquidated, making sure that I don't, have to sell any of my XRP. I just hold my XRP and I'm watching Doppler, Flare, Axelar, more markets, digital wealth partners, right? You got a whole spectrum here going from decentralized over to centralized digital wealth partners, the largest XRP fund so far, all the way over to BlackRock, which is announcing their income ETF as well too. Now, will there be any integration with XRP for that? I don't know. But the point being is that the opportunities to earn passive income on your XRP are arriving, and your best skill, if I could just encourage for anybody, I'm not here to give you financial advice, but I am here to tell you to make sure that you have sharpened your skills when it comes to due diligence. Because being able to distinguish what's real, what's fake, what's hype, what's real utility, and true security, and where is the yield coming from is the number one question. It's the biggest meme in DeFi. Where is the yield coming from? And so many people are participating in these offerings without understanding where the yield's coming from. So although it's very exciting, we don't have to sell any of our XRP potentially, right? To earn passive income on our XRP, we'll have all these different options, but conducting due diligence to make sure that you don't invest with somebody that's going to lose your XRP investing with somebody that's going to make sure that they can produce sustainable yield. That is the game. So I'm here to say the opportunity is very exciting. I'm looking and conducting due diligence myself. I will be reporting to you guys, keeping you updated on all of these different products. And I will let you guys know when I do participate in them, how it does go. Okay. But for right now, I'm sitting back and just letting these guys build, and let's see what they can produce. XRP update, we're down here at 273, basically 274 right now. We did get another back test of 270 this morning. So we have this triple tap formation on the 270 support. We're waiting to see if we do break through to the downside. This is possible. I don't know where people are making, people just want to like FUD and hop on the negativity bandwagon during these moments. And I just laugh because it's just, people want to attack me and say, I said it was never going below $3 again. Not true. You said it was never going below 280 again. Not true. Last night's live show, I reiterated once again that we could get Black Swan. We could get a government shutdown on October 1st. We could get World War III events. We could have aliens arrive. We could get a liquidation swipe down to lower levels. It is possible. It will not last long. And I invest in the inevitable, in the inflows on the XRP ETFs are inevitable. And I think that we get a rally before the ETFs go live. October 17th is the finish line. I got the green mark right there. We should have XRP spot ETFs live by then, probably 6 or 7 of them. And I'm just looking for this consolidation to wrap up, cup and handle formation kind of forming. And we're going to bounce up here above $4 to a new all-time high for XRP. Everything remains the same. Targets are intact. And the inflows are inevitable on the other side of the ETFs going live. Buy the rumor, sell the news. And then basically 2 months after the ETFs went live for Bitcoin, Bitcoin hit a new all-time high. Ethereum sucks. That's a different story. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to make excuses for Ethereum. They can worry about that. There's a reason why I don't own Ethereum. Okay. XRP, the demand can be seen by records being set at the CME, records and selling out of these products for XRP yield. There's a lot of activity in motion right now in the XRP community. It's very exciting. We can earn passive income, but we also have a massive rally that's just coming if you just hold your XRP. Passive income, yield, all this stuff aside, I mean, we're still up over 400% since the election. So this is why I'm not in a rush to earn 4% from anybody. I can just hold this asset and make another couple %. And my base case for XRP is $20 to $30 next year. So just by holding the asset, we're going to print massive gains. Okay. If you appreciate what we're doing, make sure that you like this content. Help us out by sharing it out far and wide. We got all of our community resources linked up down below, and I greatly appreciate your support. Thank you so much, and God bless you all.
I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.